Today we're going to be talking about a new method of learning how to do long division. Now, old school learners, you will probably be totally confused with this method, yet it is still successful. And it's just as good as the other method where we learn how to do the traditional way, which is always using your mental math capabilities. So right over here we have the question of 4,659 divided by 7. Alright, in this new way, we're going to take the same symbol, and we're going to take this line, and we're going to bring it all the way down like this. Okay? And using this new long division method, all you have to know are the easiest multiples that there are that we know of. And those are 1, 2, 5, and 10. Now we're going to solve this equation only using those multiples, because they're the easiest. And if you don't know at least 1, 2, 5, and 10, then you better. That's all I could say about that. So, in this new method, the old way would always tell you to start from left to right. Now this time, just like everything else, like multiplication, subtraction, and addition, we're going to be going from right to left. Now, what we need to think about is we're always going to be doing something times 7. So over here we could put times 7. And now we're going to be using either 1, 2, 5, or 10. So what is the largest number that we can multiply by? Most of us will say that it is 10, because 7 times 10 is 70. Now 70 doesn't even come close to 4,659. But what we do know are our multiples of 10. So if we were to multiply by 10 and add another 0, we would have 7 times 100. And then we would have 700, getting a little closer. Now we could add another 0 and do 7 times 1,000. Unfortunately, 7 times 1,000 will be too much. It will be greater than 4,659. Now going into tens, you could certainly do that and go 100s all the way down. But what we do know, if we know our multiples of 10, is we could use the next highest number, which is 5. Alright? So using the 5s and multiples of 10, we could multiply by 7 by using the multiples of 10. Or sorry, 5. So we could start off with 5 here. And 7 times 5 is 35. And once again, that's not even going to come close to 4,659. So we could add another 0. So now we could do 7 times 50, which is going to be 350. Again, doesn't even come close to 4,659. So we could add another 0, and we could do 7 times 500. Now we're going to be getting closer. So now we could put our answer, our equal sign will go over here as we're going to the left, and we will have 3,500. Just like the traditional way, we're going to subtract this. And you'll see that we have 1,159. Alright, so we now have 500. Now we're going to keep breaking this number down so it finally gets to 0 or lower than 7, which would be then a remainder. So we have 500. Now we need to do something else that's going to multiply by 7. Can we use this 5 again? If we multiply it by 500, it will be too much. We could do it by 350, but we may not be close enough. So we can move on to the 2. And 7 times 2 is 14. And using 14 over here may be over. We could go to 70, and that'll only be 140. Now, we can now go back to the 10. And we could do another 100 here. So 7 times 10 is 70. But if we add another 0, we'll have 700. And that is the closest that we could get to 1,159. Now, once again, we're going to subtract this. And now we're down to 459. So once again, we're going to multiply by 7. Going down. What could be the closest using 1, 2, 5, or 10? We could probably use the 5 again, because we know that it is 35. So we'll go with the 5. And if we add another 0, that'll give us 350. And now you can see that how the answer is breaking down ever closer to 0. So now we have 109. What is the next closest thing? We're going to be multiplying by 7 yet again. We can multiply by 10, as we'll get an answer of 70, which is very close to 100. Once again, we will subtract, and now we have 39. Getting a little closer. Can we multiply by 5? We certainly can again. 5 times 7 is 35. We subtract that, we get 4. Can we do anything else? No. Our 4 is too low. It is lower than 7. So right now, what do we have to do? We are now going to add up all the numbers in this column that we created. So we're going to have 500 plus 100 plus 50 plus 10 plus 5. Adding this all up, we'll have 5, we'll have 6, and we'll have 6. So our answer will go up top, 665, and then we have our remainder, which is 4, and we have our answer. So this is the new method of dividing, only using 1, 2, 5, and 10, which are your easiest multiples that everyone should know by this time at this age.